Jeff Bodine is coming up on Kenny Wallace on the Haviland Ford, about to put a lap on him. That's the 18th place position.
And another battle involves Hamilton and Todd Bodine for 13th. And for those of you just joining us, the good news that Jerry Punch reported to us earlier tonight, Ernie Irvan, who normally is in that 28 car, has been taken off the critical list, upgraded to Sirius. Kenny Wallace substituting for him has just lost a lap.
And look at Rusty Wallace. He's closing up on Jeff Bodine.
Rusty Wallace running in second position, Martin third, Dale Earnhardt fourth, and Darrell Waltrip is fifth. We open up the second half of the NASCAR Winston Cup short track season here at Bristol Raceway in Tennessee with the Goodies 500 tonight. The first 4 short track races of '94 have been won by 4 different drivers: Ernie Irvan, Dale Earnhardt, Terry Labonte, and Rusty Wallace. Right now, Jeff Bodine is leading, but Rusty Wallace is not too far behind, and we ride with him. Now he puts a lap on Ricky Rudd, who is running in 16th position. So 15 cars now in the lead lap.
And Mark Martin, he's back there at that Valvoline Ford as he gets alongside Ricky Rudd. I'm sorry. We can see he's only 3 or 4 car lengths behind Rusty Wallace. And the leader isn't that far ahead.
Joe Nemechek brings her down pit road. He spun in turn 4. He was running 8th.
Some heavy damage to that right side of that car.
Here's Jerry.
He cut a right front tire and was able to make the quick, sharp left-hand turn down off the banking. A couple of cars able to avoid it, keep him from T-boning into the side. They will change right side and left side tires on the Meineke car, and I'm told that they're going to hold him 15 seconds for being too fast on pit road. The pit road speed is 35 miles an hour. The NASCAR official standing in front of the car. Once they complete the tire change, they will hold him 15 seconds.
That was sort of inevitable, Jerry. He cut the tire and kind of lost it up in turn 4, and he had no time whatsoever to brake before entering the pits, but it was probably worth it.
And we can see that Mark Martin has passed Rusty Wallace for that second spot. And Jeff Bodine had all kinds of problems getting by the 40 car, but he finally got by him.
5th, 6th, and 7th positions are Waltrip, Elliott, and Gann as they lap Brad Teague, sorry. Bill Elliott, since lap 210, has moved from 11th to 6th. He moved to 6th on lap 230 and has remained there.
Now another car has gone a lap down. Bobby Hamilton in the Kendall Pontiac. There are 13 cars on the lead lap. Michael Waltrip being shown in the 13th position, and Jeff Bodine is very close to Michael.
We're nearing the 300 lap mark. Now Elliott gets a good bite off the corner, had a notion but couldn't make the pass.
Now he comes up under Darrell as Darrell goes high in the turn. There's Harry Gann. He's in on that action too, and he's going to move on the inside. DW. DW won't fight him.
Darrell Waltrip has been running at the finish of 33 straight NASCAR Winston Cup races.
Now we see that group, and there's the leader. So they're almost a little bit more than a half lap down to the leader, Jeff Bodine.
13 cars on the lead lap. We're less than 5 laps away from the 300 lap mark. Jeff Bodine, who began this race from outside the front row, is leading. He's led 58 of the first 294 laps. Back at Bristol, tire obviously is not where it should be. It has come off Bobby Hamilton's car, who has crashed along with a couple of others on the main straightaway, and pit stops are happening. We'll show you what happened a little bit later. Let's cover the pit stops. Here's Jerry.
as it was a break for Jeff Bodine. He had pitted on lap 223, and the car had just begun to slow as the tires were about gone away after about 75 laps. Mark Martin also in, and once again, they make an adjustment on Mark Martin's car. He complains the car was just too tight. You see the whole field now on pit road. That's Earnhardt sitting at the far end of the pit road. Rusty's already off. He is down pit road. Here is Jeff Bodine away, Mark Martin away, and they still work on Dale Earnhardt's car on the left side.
Evidently, they've got an air wrench broken or something on the right rear of that car.
And they're going to have to hurry. The caution car is coming off of turn 4. They get it away, stay in the lead lap.
Rusty Wallace gets off pit road first.
Now the question is, did they fix Earnhardt's problem, or does he have to come back in? And look at the right rear tire is gone off the 40 car.
He's coming back.
Here it is from Ted Musgrave's in car.
There goes the tire that we saw.
Rolls about 3/4 of the way around the racetrack. Jerry, is Earnhardt in again?
Yes, he is. He just came back in, and they were able trying to tighten the lug nuts on the right side. Obviously, an air wrench problem. Andy Petrie here rolling up the hose. Andy, what was the problem with the car?
Must have had a wrench break right rear. We're having to come back in and change lefts right now.
So they're going to bring him back in and change left side tires. They had an air wrench fail on the right rear. They brought him back in that time just to get the lug nuts tight on the right rear. And now he'll come back down pit road here at 35 miles per hour, and they will change left side tires. The 6-time Winston Cup champion, an 8-time winner here at Bristol, Tennessee. And they take the left side tires off. Father-in-law Hal Houston giving him a nice cold drink there through the left side window. They got the left side lug nuts on, dropped it off the jack, and he is down and away.
Now we will show you again what happened to Bobby Hamilton. There's the missing right rear tire and considerable damage to the front and the side of the car.
He also hit the 22 car. We might add that he hit Bobby Labonte as Labonte was going by there. And I don't know if the rear tire fell off the car is why he crashed, or if it was knocked off when he made contact with the wall.
It's a good thing that that tire didn't go into the grandstand or was hit by somebody, because it was traveling at a high rate of speed there.
He's trying to make a lap up, just going right on around the racetrack. We'll see right here in a moment. It has some fans as it comes around here. Well, didn't quite go that far.
All right, Jerry, what was wrong? Wrench?
Here's what happened. This is the wrench they were trying to use. Now I'll have Nelson Crozier hold it as if we were putting it on a lug nut. Now watch the end here. I'm going to put pressure on it, and nothing happens. The handle is broken, so they were doing all they could. It makes all the noise. It does all the vibration, but it does not tighten the lug nut. That's what cost Dale Earnhardt some valuable time and spots on the racetrack. Bob?
A lot of noise, no action for Dale Earnhardt, who falls way back to 11th position, I believe, for the restart.
Well, fortunately for him, now there are only 12 cars on the lead lap, so it didn't hurt him as bad as it would have earlier.
Martin came in first, comes out third. Jeff Bodine stays the same. Rusty Wallace gained 2 positions. Bill Elliott stayed in 4th. And Dale Earnhardt from 5th all the way back to 12th position for the restart. The enthusiasm continues here among the crowd at Bristol International. We've just gone green here at Bristol once again with Rusty Wallace up front. Jeff Bodine is running in second. Rick Mast in car 1 is 13th, a lap down. Behind this group, there is all kinds of activity going on. Look at this mess.
And Earnhardt's right in the middle of it.
He doesn't want to be in there, but he had no choice as a result of the problems they had in the pits.
Can be dangerous to get caught back here in the middle of the field when positions are being traded and everybody's going for position.
I really think this is an important race for Dale Earnhardt. I think if he gets through this race and doesn't lose too many points, if he finishes in the top 10, he'll go on and win the championship.
That's an interesting observation. But just because
anything can happen at this racetrack, and it can happen so fast, and there's nothing you can do about it.
You have a better control over
your destiny.
Your destiny at places like Darlington, where we'll be next weekend, and North Wilkesboro and Martinsville.
Well, sometimes it's tough to have control over your destiny at Darlington. But I agree, you have more control than you do on this racetrack, but it's still tough.
Look at Jeff Bodine. He is right up on the back bumper again of Rusty Wallace.
He was able to get by Rick Mast.
Now, Mast had just gone a lap down just before the caution came out. His tires had simply gone away. He had been running up there in the top 10, and all of a sudden they were passing him, and he went a lap down.
Earnhardt is up in that high groove again, passing Derek Cope.
Well, here comes Cope back on the inside, but Earnhardt has the run off the turn. Make the pass.
Todd Bodine is going to try it up there. See if he has as much success. Nope.
Todd is still in the lead lap. He was just about to go a lap down when this last caution came out. So that was a blessing for he and Michael Waltrip both. They were just in front of Jeff Bodine.
There's Bodine.
And we can see that Jeff Bodine's car runs through the middle of the corner faster than Rusty Wallace's, which enables him to go down the straightaway or come off the corner with a great deal more acceleration than Rusty.
Rusty has the advantage down the straightaways, but Jeff really gets through the corners. Here are your top 5 in NASCAR Winston Cup points. Earnhardt starting 14th, now 10th. Irvin, of course, is recuperating from the injuries, but doing well. Mark Martin started 8th, now 3rd. Rusty is the leader, and Ken Schrader started 31st, currently running in 20th position, but is, what, three laps down?
Yeah. He lost those 3 laps during an unscheduled pit stop early for a flat tire, and just as then the caution came out not long after that, so he's been caught that way all night long.
Rusty Wallace has an amazing. There is Bill Elliott and Harry Gant. These guys have been running together, seems like, for most of the race.
Well, for a good portion of the last 100 laps or so, but Gant takes the position away from Bill Elliott.
That is 4th, so Elliott back to 5th.
No thing wrong with that picture. They're missing Darrell Walker. Oh, there's Darrell. I knew he'd be in that picture in just a second.
There he is.
Behind Darrell Waltrip is Sterling Marlin in the Kodak car. There he comes into the picture, the yellow car. He is running in the 7th position.
And this is his 300th NASCAR Winston Cup start. There is Dale Jarrett, who is running in 8th position. Kenny Wallace has lost a lap. He is 15th. There's Dick Trickle.
Trickle is running in the 9th position, still in the lead lap.
Earnhardt trying to weave his way through the traffic and get back up into competition after the misfortune on pit road. Here's a couple of the Bodines running together, Todd and Brett.
Brett's a lap down.
Along with Rudd and Michael Waltrip.
The 16th position. Gordon Shepard there in the Citgo Ford. He's 4 laps down.
Now Waltrip trying to take over 5th from Elliott. Ramfield summary.
See what a disadvantage running high is. Bill Elliott running low on the racetrack pulls away from Darrell Waltrip by about a half a car length. Now, if they run across traffic, Darrell closes up right on the back bumper of Bill. But you can see what a huge advantage it is to run on the bottom of the racetrack.
Earnhardt is trying to tell Dick Trickle that he believes he has the faster car and that Trickle should relinquish the position. Dick Trickle has other ideas.
He's not intimidated.
And so Earnhardt will go up top. Long way around up there. I think he's going to do it.
That's a good pass on the outside by Earnhardt. Here comes Todd Bodine, the factory stores car. Dick Trickle racing for what? 9th spot?
9th, 10th, and 11th here. That battle is for 10th between Trickle and Bodine. And up front, it is Rusty Wallace, who has an average finish of 2nd in the last 15 short track races.
An average finish of 2.0, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
That's pretty strong.
It is. It's very strong.
And he leads here tonight, looking for his 5th victory here at Bristol International Raceway, but his 1st in this night fall race. We'll be back with more live coverage of the Goodies 500 after this. Did you notice that Benny said, "Come on, guys, push," while he walked alongside?
Now watch what these horses do as they accelerate off the corner. Here's Mark Martin. He's in 2nd place. There's leader Jeff Bodine. 700 ponies accelerating from, what, 100 miles an hour up to 135 miles an hour in 600 feet or something like that.
Rusty Wallace got past. Jeff Bodine used a little of that horsepower that he's got under his hood to move around.
Rusty, of course, has fallen back to 3rd now as Mark Martin is into 2nd. Jerry?
Well, Mark Martin has got a problem. He has been told by NASCAR that he has an exhaust pipe or something dragging beneath the car. As he goes to the corner, you see a spark from beneath the car number 6, and he follows Jeff Bodine in turns 1 and 2. Up in 3 and 4, it was quite as bad. Here in the Valvoline pit, Steve Bill and the crew are getting ready to put some sheet metal beneath that dragon. And we are told that Bill Elliott is also slowing down and lost the position.
I believe Jerry might have lost the cylinder. I'm not sure. He just seemed like he's not running quite as fast on the straightaway. Sterling Marlin has moved around him now as Terry Labonte is back out on the racetrack right now. Sterling Marlin has taken over 5th from Bill Elliott. But he's definitely not running quite as fast as he was. Maybe there's no major problem for him.
John Kernan has more.
A few laps ago, coming out of turn number 2, Bill Elliott got so far sideways, I thought he was going to end up down here on pit road on the backstretch. But somehow he managed to save the car and keep it going in a straight line. That was when Sterling Marlin made his move and caught up a lot of ground on Bill.
And Dale Earnhardt has picked up a couple of positions here as he has moved to 8th. And Jerry has more on Mark Martin.
We are now being told it is actually the strap that holds the exhaust pipe in position beneath the car. That strap is either vibrated loose or broken, and that is what is dragging beneath the Valvoline Ford. The car bouncing out of turn 1 and 2. You see sparks as the strap is...
And we have a crash in the backstretch as Mike Wallace is up against the fence on the high side, and Ken Schrader is against the fence on the inside. Rusty Wallace, as I was watching that live, got nailed pretty good in the rear end of the car. I don't know how that'll affect the performance of it, but I think it was Kyle Petty who hit him in the rear end.
Almost drove Rusty into the wreck, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, here it is again.
There we see Wallace coming off the corner. He goes up by himself, loses control, backs in the fence. Not a lot of contact with the wall, but now as he comes back across the racetrack, wow, Jeremy Mayfield knocked off the rear bumper as the 52 car spun out. Jerry Punch.
Now with this pit stop, everyone down here where we are should be able to go the rest of the way on fuel. The tires could be a different story. Here is Mark Martin, and watch them. They will change 4 tires. As you watch the 7, 6, and 2, that is Jeff Bodine, Mark Martin, and Rusty Wallace. Now they're going to put a strap on the left side exhaust. Bring the strap up and try to hold it up, hold the exhaust pipe up. Rusty is down and away in the car number 2. Here is Bodine down and away. Now left side tires going on Mark Martin's car. Mark Martin is down off the jack, so he is down and away. He and Darrell Waltrip race to the end of pit road. Let's go to John Kernan.
4-tire change, Sterling Marlin, Michael Waltrip, and Todd Bodine. They also tightened up Sterling Marlin's car. He is the first one to leave. Dale Jarrett also leaves pit road with 4 tires. There goes Michael Waltrip, and Todd Bodine follows behind.
Dale Jarrett also moving out of the back pits. Rusty Wallace's crew once again gets him out first, and he will have the lead when we go back to racing.
And we saw Jeremy Mayfield take the rear bumper off the 90 car. Watch this.
Mayfield had all kinds kinds of problems. He's the one that hit Ken Schrader in the back end. Here's from Mark Martin. John Kernan has more on Sterling Marlin.
Well, earlier in the race, Sterling Marlin got into the back of somebody and pushed in his grill. Well, they've been fighting a near overheating problem all race long. Right now, Sterling, during this caution period, from the time he pitted, went back out, the water temperature went up from 240 to 250 degrees. So they are going to bring Sterling back in while we're under caution and put some water into that car.
That might be easier said than done. Well, no, getting the hood up was fairly easy. Sometimes when you bend the hood up like that and come in to try to get it up, it's very difficult to do, but
they are trying their best. 358 laps are complete here at Bristol in the Goodies 500 NASCAR Winston Cup race. Less than a lap of green here in the Goodies 500 at Bristol. Rusty Wallace leads the race. Jeff Bodine is second. Harry Gant is third. The pole sitter.
Bill Elliott is in fourth place, and Dale Earnhardt is fifth.
Elliott and Musgrave running together. Do not pass. Earnhardt is once again up on the high side. Passing cars right and left.
Those cars, there's Derek Cope. He is a lap down. Darrell Waltrip in sixth place, right behind Earnhardt as they get to close quarters. Mark Martin in seventh. He lost a lot of positions on that pit stop as they tried to repair that damage that, or whatever that was hanging down, Jerry Punch had reported. But he's going to get one of those positions back there on the inside of Darrell Waltrip. But he's running up on Jeremy Mayfield. Yep, he makes the pass.
Wallace and Bodine still going at it.
Yes, Jeff Bodine was able to get by Rick Mast, and you can see that he is faster than Rusty Wallace right now.
Well, what will happen in 75 laps or so if we stay green?
And I think Mark Martin will probably be the fastest car on the racetrack. But where he'll be in the running is yet to be seen.
But those Hoosier tires are fast when they're new. That's what Jeff Bodine has on his Exide batteries forward, and he's going to make a pass.
Yes, he is. So Bodine goes back into the lead, and the 33 of Harry Gant is really closing in on second place Rusty Wallace. Well, Hoosier started first and second with Gant and Jeff Bodine, and currently they are running first and third with Rusty Wallace between them. The right car of Terry Labonte, by the way, Benny, is back on the track. You can see he's about 294 or so laps behind.
Ned, you're right. These Hoosiers are really fast, but I think there's too many laps, about 130 laps to go. So if the caution flags drop just right, they're in good shape. If it goes green the rest of the way.
Jeff Bodine is number one here in Bristol. Speed is 8 laps down in 23rd. We ride on top of his quality care Ford.
Ron Andretti still out there running.
It's Jeff Burton, the Robustus car. That's the one we had in the track pack just a moment ago with all the horsepower.
Whoa. On the racetrack live, Martin and Earnhardt are going at it for fifth position.
Well, they're not going at it any longer. Mark Martin just passed Earnhardt and took the position away.
Dale, of course, had a bad air wrench on a recent pit stop. Here's a Napa field summary.
And Mark Martin had a long pit stop this last caution flag when he went in and they tried to put a brace or a strap under whatever was dragging the racetrack. And he is working his way back towards the front as best he can. Newbridge Chevrolet. Boy, that car runs good at this racetrack.
Yes, it does. Last week, unfortunate incident took him out early. He finished 37th. That was his worst finish in the last 65 races dating back to Talladega in July of 1992. All right, let's move back up front and see how Mr. Bodine is doing. Well, the interval is about 5-6 car lengths over Rusty Wallace, and then a little bit more than that back to Harry Gant. Dale Jarrett and Dick Trickle are battling for 8th.
Jarrett's car seemed to be pushing a little bit off the turns. He got pushed there a little bit by Trickle, and he's going to let him go by. Michael Waltrip right there, too, in Pennzoil Pontiac.
Dale's had a good race, though. I mean, no doubt about it. He didn't start very high up, but he's been on the lead lap all race long.
He started 29th.
Here is Mark Martin going to 4th.
Taking that spot away from Bill Elliott. Now he's Mark Martin a little bit more than a straightaway behind Harry Gant in 3rd place.
And now Michael Waltrip picks up the battle with Dale Jarrett.
And I'd like to say hello to Mark Hayes, one of the guys that works on this 30 car.
As you see his progression from lap 300 from 12th to 10th. Go ahead.
Well, he's battling a cancer problem. He lives in Yadkinville, North Carolina. Saw him at the softball game Tuesday night. He's looking good, and all I can say is, Mark, keep fighting.
Did you play? Softball?
He told him about it.
Did you play softball?
No, I told him all about it.
What would you play if you played softball, Benny? Second base?
Backstop, I guess.
Well, that's even better.
Right here is where Dale Jarrett's losing it off turn 2. His car is just pushing there. He can't get off of that turn.
Yeah,
on the inside. Got that run on him. And there's Sterling Marlin coming up. He'll be the next one.
Michael to 9th, Dale to 10th. Marlin is 11th, and then Todd Bodine in 12th, and those are the cars on the lead lap. All 4 cars there battling for position.
Yeah, Dale Jarrett gets through 3 and 4 pretty good, doesn't he?
Yeah, gets through 3 and 4, okay. But coming off of turn 2 right here is where he's been losing. See Michael pull away from him coming off there? The car's tight, which it appears to me that it is. It might work itself out as he runs on a little bit more. But they see him move right back up on Waltrip coming off of turn 4. Now he gets a pretty good run off of turn 2.
Bodine is trying to head up the racetrack and see if he can't get by Sterling up there in the high groove. Well, he's doing a pretty good job of it, isn't he?
Yeah. Just move right around.
Meanwhile, Morgan Shepherd watches all this.
He's working his laps down now. Jarrett trying to make the pass back on Michael Waltrip, and he's going to get it. Todd Bodine will try to make the pass as well, and he'll probably get it this turn. He does.
Marlin comes inside and passes.
Oh, Dale Jarrett spins out coming off at turn 4, right in front of that group.
Heavy contact with the outside wall. Everybody's going to miss him, and Ken Schrader tried to get a lap back. I don't know whether he did or not. He's 5 laps down, but tried to get 1 back. Dale Jarrett with a spin and heavy contact in the front of the car off of turn 4. However, he has the car rolling again, or trying to get it rolling.
Well, he's coming. There he is in front. He just, I don't know if he cut a tire or what happened. They think they cut a tire, and around it goes. You can see the front end hit the wall pretty hard.
Yes, sir. But he has the Interstate Battery Chevrolet rolling down the front stretch, pulling it behind the wall. Here's another angle. No help.
No, it just goes around all of a sudden.
Jerry Punch is in Rusty Wallace's pit.
Right side tires already out. Remember, this crew had some problems last week in Michigan, but they have been flawless here tonight at Bristol, Tennessee. Left side tires going out. Lug nut. He is down off the jack, and pit road is very, very busy, and he heads back to turn 1. Bodine is out. Earnhardt is still in. Here is Bill Elliott out. Here's Darrell Waltrip out, and Dale Earnhardt in the Goodrich Chevrolet heads back to turn 1 as well.
How about Harry Gant? Came out in 3rd spot. Looked to me like Good job.
This is our 11th caution of the evening. Has 390 of the 500 laps of it. The big glow off the front of the helicopter is not a fire. It's the brightly illuminated Bristol International Raceway. And our overhead shots are courtesy of Steel, makers of a full line of outdoor power equipment. Powerful, easy use, durable. Qualities you can depend on in Steel territory. Take a look at the pit summary. Jeff Bodine stayed first. Wallace stayed second. Gant stayed third. Martin from 4th to 6th, and Bill Elliott stayed in 5th position. So not a whole lot of change during those most recent pit stops.
So you plug Dale Earnhardt in that 4th spot. That was the only spot that we had missing. Earnhardt takes that spot. Moved from 6th to 4th on the pit stop.
Under caution because of an accident involving Dale Jarrett in turn 4.
Well, he's coming around there. He just passed Michael Waltrip. All of a sudden, the back end of the Interstate Battery Chevrolet goes around, and the front end goes into the wall.
You can see Morgan Shepherd's car just passing by. Here's how it looked from the roof cam of his car. A lot of smoke, and you just hope you'll miss him. He did. Here's John Kernan with Dale Jarrett.
Well, Dale is still sitting in his car. They're working to put a new oil cooler on, a new radiator. What he had radioed and told his steering coach, Jimmy Makar, when he went into the turn, it felt like he cut a tire down. But a survey of all 4 tires showed that all 4 are inflated. I asked Dale through the window net if he knew exactly what had happened, if someone had touched him or whatever. He said, I don't know. He put his hands up like as if to say, I don't know what happened.
No, nothing. No one hit him. That's for sure, John. He was by himself by a car length or so there. Well, if it wasn't a tire, he just lost it, I guess.
Pretty much it.
You see the flashlights there trying to assess the damage and just see exactly what is wrong with the car.
Let's take a look at how they came off of pit road. Boy, one thing you got to do tonight is give a lot of credit to Harry Gant's crew, who have been turning in some outstanding pit stops. He's a 4th car back here, and watch.
We see the green and white car. That's Gant. Rusty Wallace moves, and here comes Gant, almost beating Rusty Wallace out. There comes Earnhardt.
It was Jeff Bodine who won the battle off pit road. Rusty Wallace second, then Harry Gant, Dale Earnhardt, and Bill Elliott. Back in a moment. We have just gone green. 3/4 of a lap completed with Jeff Bodine showing the way. A near crash in the backstretch, but everybody is okay. Here's a big group of cars. Dale Earnhardt, Kenny Wallace, Bill Elliott, Ricky Rudd, Mark Martin, and others. While we watch Rudd there, here's a pretty interesting statistic. Rudd has scored more points in the last 6 races than any other driver. Not so sure that he'll be able to claim that after tonight because he is 14th a lap down, but the last 6 races have been very good ones for Ricky Rudd.
At 28 car, once again, just tuning in is Kenny Wallace. He's substituting for Ernie Irvin while Ernie recuperates up in Ann Arbor.
Off the critical list. Here's the restart. Here's that near crash I was talking about from our remote control cam off of turn 2. Boy.
Looks like 52 car Brad Teague did get in the wall. Here's a race for 2nd place.
Well, the question now becomes, can the Hoosiers pull off another win here? Jerry Punch.
Bob, the Hoosier engineers are very, very excited. Early in the race, the wear wasn't that good. They were getting about 70 laps, then 80 laps, then 90 laps. Now they feel that comfortably the tire will last 100 laps. That's how many laps are left in this race, and 2 of the top 3 have the Hoosier tires on. So for the 7 and 33, it looks pretty good right now.
Indeed it does. If they can go 100 laps, they'll pull off the victory because we went green with just 101 or 102 laps to go. There is the 3rd place, Harry Gant on Hoosiers with Rusty Wallace on Goodyear's ahead in 2nd.
Gant had Rick Mast between he and Rusty not long ago. He had disposed of Rick Mast and is picking up on.
And Mark Martin just passed Bill Elliott for that spot. Took over, what is it, 5th spot?
5th, 6th, and 7th right here. Martin, Elliott, and Walter.
outside of Bill. Bellscar didn't run very well there, about the last 100 laps, but it looks like he might have the handle back on the Western Auto Shady.
Bristol starts have 12 wins, 23 top 5s, 29 top 10s, the best record of all active drivers. Darrell Waltrip.
What did he do, win 7 races in a row here one time?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Some kind of record on this racetrack. And he did it by being a very smart race driver.
Very patient. Waltrip, by the way, has had 3 top 10 finishes in the last 3 races.
As we watch this race for 6th spot, Jeff Bodine is still leading. Rusty Wallace is 2nd. Harry Gant's 3rd.
Everybody going high to miss John Andretti, who had his problems early on, made repairs, and is out there running at a much slower speed than everybody else. There is Jeff Bodine, the leader. Rusty Wallace in 2nd, and Harry Gant 3rd. Now on Speed Week tonight, we talked to Harry Gant, and he said that even though he, because of his pole here tonight, has a position in the Busch Clash at Daytona in '95, he would hold to his retirement and not compete in it.
He's not running the Busch Clash.
Now the question is, will this racetrack have a representative in that Busch Clash in '95? Because remember the guy who won the pole for the race here in the spring?
Chuck Bound?
Chuck Bound, who is not in the series.
Oh, and here's Lake Speed.
Lake Speed hits the wall on the inside of the front stretch. Keeps going.
And no caution.
How about that? A lot of damage, though, to the Quality Care Ford of Lake Speed, who was in 22nd position, 9 laps down.
And we can see that he is
still out there.
In the meantime, Terry Labonte has parked the Kellogg's Cornflake Chevrolet. There we see all the smoke inside Lake Speed's car.
Terry Labonte pulled into the garage area, what is the garage area, the infield here, immediately after Lake Speed had made contact with the wall. I believe those two had a meeting earlier in the evening, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
They did, and it looks like they had another one right here.
You're going to see Lake come down.
Oh. Now battle for 4th position between Earnhardt and Mark Martin.
Earnhardt had a pretty good lead on Mark Martin not long ago, but Martin has run him down.
I believe Mark Martin might have the best car here tonight, but he got behind when he had that long pit stop due to here comes Darrell Waltrip by Bill Elliott. Martin had that long pit stop and got behind, and he was having trouble getting caught back up.
And there goes Martin to the inside of Earnhardt as the drivers now begin to see the laps click off. We're down to 80 to go, and Martin makes his move. By the way, remember here in the spring, he came from a year ago, rather, in this race, he came from 2 laps down to win.
Earnhardt closed up right on the back bumper. Everyone on the front grandstand stood up.
Yep. They thought he was going to see a wreck.
And now we have Rusty Wallace challenging Bodine for the lead. Wow. And just behind Rusty is Gant. This is a good 3-car battle here.
Jeff Bodine had several car length advantage on Rusty Wallace just a couple of laps ago, and he has seen that lead just vanish. It might have been that he ran up on the 90 car and got off the gas, and that's how Rusty was able to catch him.
Remember what happened to Rusty a year ago. He dominated this race, leading 409 of the 500 miles, but he admittedly just became so fatigued that he couldn't hold his head up and lost the race because of that. 75 laps to go here at Bristol. It's Jeff Bodine, Rusty Wallace for Ford, Harry Gant for Chevy, Mark Martin for Ford, and Dale Earnhardt for Chevy in the top 5.
Back in Bristol, Tennessee, with less than 70 laps to go, and possibly a problem for our leader. Jeff Bodine in the Exide Battery Ford has radioed to his crew and said we may be out of water. Danny Glad, the engine builder, just told me they may have a pinhole in the radiator and they may have been leaking water. Apparently now we are seeing smoke from the 7 car. Bodine just radioed in and it is very, very hot. The engine temperature is extremely hot, and it could be curtains for the car number 7.
Right now, he maintains the lead by about a couple of car lengths over Rusty Wallace, but we'll keep an eye on that situation. Meanwhile, there's a good battle for 9th position going on between Todd Bodine and the 4-car of Sterling Marlin. Also, Michael Waltrip is involved in that 3-car battle for 9th.
9th, 10th, and 11th that we're seeing right there on the screen. Todd Bodine in the blue and red cars, number 75. 2 yellow cars of Sterling Marlin, number 4, and Michael Waltrip, number 30. Brad Teague still hanging in there in that car, number 52. Third position, 20 laps down.
You know, Jerry Punch talked about the 7 car being out of water. Well, you know, why don't he go to pits? Well, he's trying to win the race, and maybe he has a gauge, a water gauge that's malfunctioning, so he's got to stay on the racetrack. But if he is out of water and this thing blows up, we're looking at taking out himself, Rusty Wallace, and Harry Gant. There's the water hose. They're ready in case he should come in.
He stretched out the lead on Wallace a little bit.
Yeah, Mark Martin is gaining on the whole crowd, though. He is really coming up through there. There's the 3 leaders. There's Mark Martin, just barely came into the picture.
Here's a Napa field summary how the drivers were running last time around. There's the 6 car. There, your top 4 right there in the shot.
And it's a great race. 60 laps to go. But if Jeff Bodine can finish the race, can Mark Martin get up there? Can he pass all those cars and get to the front?
Easier said than done.
Easier said than done. That's correct.
Yeah, but he's driving like a man with a mission, and he does have a mission. He is gaining on it. Now Rusty has moved right back up on Jeff Bodine once again.
Jeff has encountered some slower traffic. Jeremy Mayfield is just ahead of him.
Inducted into the National Motorsports Press Association Hall of Fame next weekend in Darlington.
And we will be in Darlington for the annual Labor Day tradition, the Mountain Dew Southern 500.
500 laps of the track, too tough to tame.
Miles.
500 miles, yes.
Ooh, look at this. Marlin and Bodine.
Spot, 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Average speed of the race, 90.1. We're about 11 miles an hour under the track record. We have been slowed by 10 caution periods, for a total of 68 laps. 90 car of Mike Wallace has returned to competition after being behind the wall. 42 laps down. There's Michael Waltrip looking to the inside of Marlin, who tries to get to the inside of Bodine.
This battle has been raging for 100 laps or so, hasn't it?
It sure has.
Marlin's got to run on him going into turn 3. Does Todd know he's there? Yes, he does.
Here comes Michael, going to take that other spot away. So Todd goes from 9th to 11th, just like that.
is about on the same straightaway with you now as they go into turn 3. Off of turn 2.
There's Rusty Wallace looking at the lead of the race, Jeff Bodine.
Rusty is driving once again Midnight, which has 11 wins and 23 of 25 top 5s.
Well, you know, last year he raced the Pontiac, and you say, well, how can that be? Because this year he has the Ford. All they did was put Ford skin on the chassis that he had the Pontiac skin on last year.
Same basic car.
Jeff coming up on his brother Brett, put another lap on him.
Put Brett 2 laps now. He's 16th.
HB coming back in the action, Ford quality gear car. What do you think? Does Rusty know that Jeff Bodine has a problem then?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I started to mention a moment ago that I felt that maybe Rusty was biding his time there. Mark Martin had really been gaining on them, but now all of a sudden he's sort of settled in back there. He hasn't gained in the last 10 laps. And so I thought maybe he was just riding along there behind Bodine, but not taking any chances trying to pass him. But I don't know. If he knows that he has that problem, he should be trying to pass him because, as you said earlier, if he should blow up right in front of him, oh boy, that wouldn't be much Rusty could do about it.
As a matter of fact, Dale Earnhardt might be gaining on Mark Martin now. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. He blew it up right there. Down the front straightaway.
Jeff Bodine drops from the lead. And a lot of smoke coming from the exhaust headers of that car. Here is Jerry Punch.
Well, as you said a minute ago, Jeff Bodine had no choice but to try to run to the finish of this race. The car actually ran about 24 laps with little or no water in it. And now he sits here. There's a light on the dash indicating that the engine is overheating, and there's very little water circulating. Bodine sits patiently. The light now glows inside the car. They will change tires and they try to add water to the engine, but obviously his chances of going to victory lane are over.
Jeff Bodine will not win at Bristol. The Unocal bonus money still remains up for grabs, though, as Harry Gant, who started from the pole position, now has second to Rusty Wallace, and the caution is out as Dick Trickle crashes here on the straightaway. Dick Trickle.
And this just might be the break that Harry Gant's looking. He's running second, but we've said all night those Hoosier tires faster. Trickle tries to get going again, Gant will get 4 new tires, and he only has about 40 laps to go, so it might be just what he needs.
Well, track position becomes vitally important at this moment. Let's see how things shake out as the cars come down pit road for what could be the final series of pit stops. Rusty Wallace has stopped already. Harry Gant now stopping. Mark Martin, Dale Earnhardt, Bill Elliott, and Darrell Waltrip are also in.
Well, we see Rusty's crew going around to the left side already. Harry's crew just now going around to the left. Mark Martin drops that car down. Rusty's car is moving. He's moving. Harry Gant, they're still up on the left side. Rusty takes the lead. Here comes Harry. Mark Martin's going to be third. Earnhardt second. And Harry goes back to fourth. That might beat him then.
That might do it. He's going to have to race awfully hard if he can get by Mark Martin and Dale Earnhardt, which are 2 tough customers to pass before he could even get to Rusty Wallace.
There are 39 laps to go in the Goodies 500. Rusty Wallace is leading. We'll be back in a moment.
Back in Bristol, Tennessee, less than 40 laps to go. And Jeff Bodine, unfortunately, your day is over after an outstanding effort.
Yeah, hi, Kathy. Sorry. Car owner's back home watching. We burnt the engine up. The water pump broke, let all the water out. We knew it was low, but we kept going, hoping it was going to make it, but just too many laps left. It got really hot, burned a piston, seal or something went out of the water pump. But the Exide Ford was pretty much hauling the mail. It's running really good. Proud of the team. Pit stops are great. Hoosier tires are working great. Setup was really good. You know, this really makes us feel good. I mean, I feel bad that we're out of the race, but to run this good consistently, that's what we've been trying to, where we've been trying to put this team. It's there now. It's a shame what happened tonight.
Indeed it is. Back to green flag racing, guys.
And Rusty Wallace gets a pretty good jump on Dale Earnhardt, Mark Martin, Harry Gant, Darrell Waltrip, and Bill Elliott.
Yeah, Harry Gant caught up in some left traffic. He is losing time to the leaders, so if those Hoosier tires are going to be better, he's going to have to use them up before he can even get around the left traffic.
The next 35 laps will go away very, very quickly.
Yeah, these things happen at this racetrack awfully fast. There's the leader, Rusty Wallace. Dale Earnhardt in second. This is looking from the third place car of Mark Martin.
It's not as far as it looked from that roof camera. About 4 cars separate Earnhardt and Wallace. About the same separates Mark Martin and Earnhardt.
The top 4 in NASCAR Winston Cup points are running in the top 3. Of course, considering Ernie Irvin, who is recuperating from his injuries.
Now Harry Gant has cleared the last of that traffic. He just went around Rick Mast as Mark Martin moves in on Dale Earnhardt. Rusty Wallace has pulled away a little bit on Earnhardt. Earnhardt is close.
He just pulls over and says, okay, Mark, you've got a fast race car. Go see if you can catch him.
Earnhardt thinking about those points.
We can see that Mark Martin is pulling away from Earnhardt by a car length or 2. You know, Bob, remember a couple of years ago I went down to the Ridgewood Barbecue and did a buffet binning? Well, my boss, our boss from ESPN, Bob Scanlon, came in Friday, so I said, let's go to lunch. Took him down to Ridgewood Barbecue to really treat him some great barbecue.
Are you sure you want to tell this story? Is your contract that secure?
You know what Scanlon had? A bacon cheeseburger. I said, man. He probably ordered barbecue at Bristol. Man.
Oh, boy. I think I'll not walk with you back to the TV compound after this one's over.
Might not have a job, huh?
Rusty Wallace appears to be maybe pulling away a little bit from Mark Martin. Mark Martin's definitely pulling away from Earnhardt.
And Jerry has more on Dale Earnhardt. He's just about to lose third, Jerry.
Well, a true show of sportsmanship. Earnhardt told Childress and Carl, hey, we can't do anything with Rusty Wallace. We can't run with him tonight. So why keep Mark Martin from getting an opportunity? So Dale just pulled over and let Mark go by. I said, Mark, you take your best shot because we don't have enough to run with him.
While victories are important in every race that you compete in, Dale Earnhardt must be thinking about his 7th NASCAR Winston Cup championship, the one that will tie him with Richard Petty for most.
And he made a rare mistake last week at Michigan, in my opinion. He got tangled up with Todd Bodine. He was on the outside, Bodine was on the inside, and they tangled and put Earnhardt out of the race, and actually put both of them out of the race. And I personally felt that he should have been driving a little bit more conservatively at that time.
Folks, I'll tell you, Harry Gant is driving that car as hard as he possibly can, trying to get by Earnhardt.
His best performance of 94.
And you say, well, Earnhardt moved over and let Mark Martin go. Why doesn't he let Harry Gant go? The tires. You see, Harry Gant has the Hoosier tires on. Earnhardt has the Goodyears on. That's one reason that he hasn't moved. And watch Harry Gant. He's on the flat of the racetrack.
Boy, cowboy. Harry's best finish of the year was a 7th at Charlotte. So he is having his best performance in his final year of competition.
He is 4th right now in this race.
Watch
this is
folks.
worth watching again. Watch this.
The black part is the apron of the racetrack. Watch as he almost runs in the back of Earnhardt and goes down and gets all 4 tires on the apron. Man, is he trying.
And he's 54 years old, but still has the fire of a 24-year-old. 20 laps to go now. We will come back from this commercial break and show you the conclusion of the Goodies 500. Will it be Wallace, Martin, Earnhardt, Gant, or Waltrip? Stay with us. And some great shots from high above Bristol Raceway, courtesy of Steel, makers of a full line of outdoor power equipment. Powerful, easy to use, durable. Qualities you can depend on in Steel territory. And speaking of durable, it is time once again, that time of year, for college football. Join us Thursday, September the 1st. That's this coming Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time for CFA action. Arizona against Georgia Tech from Atlanta. Harry Gant is off the pace.
Looks like he has a flat tire. You know, he got that on the apron of the racetrack, and that just might have caused the tire to go flat.
Here's what happened. He was racing with Dale Earnhardt when the problem occurred.
He almost runs in the back of Earnhardt. He has to hit the brakes. He goes out on the apron of the racetrack. John Kerner, what's the problem?
Benny, they don't really know. I just talked to Leo Jackson. At first, they got up ready to change tires. They thought he had a right rear tire going down. But right now, they're not sure that's the problem. They don't know what the problem is. The car just will not drive the way it did earlier on in the race.
We can see that he's fighting the car just to get around the racetrack.
But he's only got 9 laps to go, so undoubtedly he's going to finish. But it will not be his best performance of 1994. He is down now to 9th spot. The lead continues to be held by Rusty Wallace. There you see the interval that he has over Mark Martin. Still battling out there on the racetrack, Sterling Marlin and Michael Waltrip. This is for 6th.
And Todd Bodine. Right behind them is Todd Bodine, who's been in the shot all day. So there he is.
Yep, that threesome have been going at it.
6th, 7th, and 8th. Rusty Wallace has won 5 times this year. Can he make it 6? Mark Martin is closing in with 6 laps to go.
And they're coming up on some pretty heavy traffic. Rusty will catch him in about 2 laps. And every time they get in traffic, he's careful there, of course, but Mark Martin is picking up on him.
The interval between Wallace and Martin about 0.4 of a second.
And now they're going to put a lap on Harry Gant.
Now this is the break that Mark might need, because he's got the 2 cars in front of Rusty in side by side. Jeremy Mayfield and Harry Gant.
Boy, Rusty wants Mayfield to get down to the inside of the racetrack out of the way, and Mark Martin did catch him.
Mark Martin is now within striking distance with less than 4 laps to go. He passes Jeremy Mayfield in the second corner. The interval about 2 car lengths as they head into 3 again.
And they got Derek Cope coming up on him. Rusty don't want to have to pass on the outside. He wants to pass on the inside, because Martin really runs up on him when he has to pass on the outside.
498 about to be complete. Comes up and passes Derek Cope, and so does Mark Martin. Next time around, the white flag.
Dennis Schrader is in front of him. Don't know if they'll catch him before they get back, before the race ends or not. It's going to be a race to the end. Here's the white flag.
1 more to go. Let's see how Wallace and Martin end this thing. Off of the second corner, and Rusty Wallace goes to the inside of Ken Schrader.
That's
so
what he
does
wanted.
Martin. But Rusty Wallace is going to win it. Here's the checkered flag. Wallace wins. His 6th victory of 94. Let's see how this battle comes out. Marlin, Michael Waltrip, Todd Bodine, they finish in that order, 6th, 7th, and 8th. There's the Miller Genuine Draft crew as they celebrate Rusty's 5th win at Bristol. John Kernan is with Buddy Parrott.
Well, Buddy Parrott's getting congratulated by everyone down here on pit road. The celebration has just about stopped. Buddy is talking to some of doing a radio interview right now. But Buddy, congratulations. You guys did a great job tonight.
Thanks a lot. You know, the whole crew deserved it. We had some great pit stops. David Evans, I'll tell you what, that was one heck of a motor tonight. All the guys in the engine shop and Miller Genuine Draft, I'll tell you what, the sponsorship, everything was great. And just glad to win this race. I just signed a 2-year contract, and it's a great way to start it off.
Yes, indeed it is. And he'll be heading to victory lane, where the celebration is probably only just beginning.
Rusty Wallace wins his 8th victory in the last 16 short track races. And he has made his way into victory lane.
He broke in that new uniform in the right kind of way, didn't he?
He sure did.
Ching, ching. Ching, ching.
It's his 37th career win.
Next round, but I got to win. You got it. The next round.
Adds to his growing list of victories here in 1994. He's won at Rockingham, Martinsville, Dover, Pocono, Michigan, and now at Bristol.
I wonder how tired he is, because I tell you what, this is a tough race. 500 laps at Bristol wears you completely out.
And I'll bet he'll say, I'm glad there were not many more laps to go.
Here's Jerry Punch.
And you would think he'd be exhausted, but he's talking and smiling. And let's listen as he climbs out of the car. Here's Rusty Wallace.
There you go, doctor.
And Rusty, what a way to break in the new uniform, the new colors. Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, RP picked these colors out. Mr. Penske said, hey, this is going to bring you a victory. It looked like it worked okay.
Your car awfully strong tonight. Bodine looked like he had the car to beat.
Yeah, Jeff was real strong, but right there at the end, I got right up on his rear end. The Goodyear tires really started coming in right there at the end. Those Hoosiers are pretty sticky for a good short run, but hey, everything went good today. Just like to thank all the sponsors, Miller, Goodyear, and Mobile, and Bosch, and all of them. But above all, my entire crew, because, boy, we really did a bad job last week on pit stops. We practiced this week, and they did a great job. I'm glad that Mr. Penske's here to watch this again, and I just hope that Ernie Irvin's watching, and we're wishing you well, buddy. He'll be up there Monday to see you.
Did you know that Jeff Bodine had a problem with the motor? You were like a foot off his rear bumper, and they said it's out of water and it could blow at any moment. Were you aware of that?
Yeah, I sure was. I radioed to the crew. I said, he's getting a lot of smoke. I said, I think it's ready to blow any time. And so we just had to drive hard. Boy, Mark Martin had a great car. Like, I take my hat off to their crew. They did a wonderful job. And, boy, that traffic right there at the very end made a real race out of it. But if you can win them that way, it's all the more exciting.
You said earlier in the week that the spotter here at this racetrack was the key person, and Roger Penske was your spotter tonight.
Well, no, Don Miller was my spotter. Roger Penske was my coach, my driving coach, and that's what he does. He's really good about, he said, you're getting in the corner too deep, get out of the throttle, float it in, let that front end take a set, and he was doing things like that. And Don Miller, my spotter, just did a killer job all night long spot, and I really love the way Don did his job tonight.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Rusty Wallace in victory lane for the 6th time in 1994. Bob?
And it's the 19th Ford win in 22 races. Rusty Wallace beats Mark Martin, Dale Earnhardt, Darrell Waltrip, and Bill Elliott. Those are the top 5. Back with more from Bristol after this. Well, the race is over. Rusty Wallace has won, and thousands of race fans have watched it here, and millions here in the United States and around the world on Sky Sport, once again carrying our NASCAR Winston Cup race. They're going to be leaving us in a few minutes, and we hope you enjoyed our coverage here this evening. Darrell Waltrip has an outstanding race. Here's John Kernan.
I tell you, Bob, you should have seen the smile on ODW's face when he got out of that Western Auto car. Darrell, a great run for you guys tonight.
It really was. The motor was fantastic. The car was really good. It got the weather's so different than what we have here normally in August. I anticipated a slicker racetrack and had the car too tight. Nothing I could do about it. That's kind of was my call. But if I could have known the weather was going to be this cool and what the track's going to be like, I'd have run right up there and won this thing. But I'm tickled. I praise the Lord for a great race, and praise the Lord for Ernie getting well. He's going to be back with us here before long. Had a great night. John Leach, everybody at Western Auto, love you, buddy.
All right, thank you, Darrell. Congratulations, a fine 4th place finish.
Did I forget anything?
I think you got everything in there, DW.
And Ernie, I told you I was back.
Bob.
It's his 4th straight top 10 finish. Darrell Waltrip is on a roll this year. Well, let's see how things are going to shake out in terms of points. Dale Earnhardt is going to retain the lead. Mark Martin moves to 2nd. Rusty to 3rd. Ernie Irvin has dropped to 4th place. Ken Schrader stays in 5th. But look, there's only 2-point separation between Wallace and Martin. And Benny helped me out on this. 199 separate 1st from 2nd.
201.
201. Oh, I was close. Now the 2nd 5, Rudd, Shepard, Waltrip, Jeff Gordon, and Bill Elliott. Michael moved up 1, Gordon up down 1, and Elliott up 1. The 11th through 15th in the point standings, Lake Speed, Darrell Waltrip, Terry Labonte, Sterling Marlin, and Kyle Petty. We'll be back with a lot more from here in Bristol as Rusty Wallace has won the Goodies 500. Stay with us. Crowd begins to file out of Bristol Raceway after seeing 500 laps of great racing here tonight that was won by Rusty Wallace. Mark Martin second, Dale Earnhardt third, Darrell Waltrip finished in fourth position, and Bill Elliott fifth. Another win for Ford. In fact, 3 of the top 5 are Fords.
6 through 10, Sterling Marlin, Michael Waltrip, Todd Bodine. Remember that big race we saw all night long? Harry Gant finished 9th after a great run, and Rick Maston 10th.
And 11th through 15th, Ted Musgrave, Ricky Rudd, Kenny Wallace, Brett Bodine, and Kyle Petty.
And Ernie Irvin, Kenny Wallace finished 13th and didn't tear your car up.
That's right, and he only was 1 lap down at the finish. There are the 16 through 20th finishers, 21st through 25th. They include Jeff Bodine, who started from the front row. Dale Jarrett had a good race until falling back to 26th, being involved in the crash in turn 4. Jeff Gordon also involved in an incident early on in the race. Ward Burton finishes in 36th position. Jerry Punch is with Harry Gant.
He may not show up in the top 5, but if there's an effort award tonight, it has to go to you, Harry. Congratulations. Everyone wants to congratulate you. What a show you put on.
Well, we tried as hard as I could try tonight. You know, we just give up a lot of spots on the pit stops, but then at last we just got some tires there that just something was wrong with the rear tire, and I couldn't run the car. You know, all night we got good tires. I really didn't see any difference between the Goodyears and the Hoosiers. They were the first that I had, I ran too long on them, but after that everything equalized, and they all ran the same amount of laps, and they were really equal tonight.
Some speculation upstairs that maybe when you tried to dive beneath Earnhardt, that on the apron of the track, a pretty brave move there, that something may have broken in the back of the car. Anything snap?
No, it just the tire just, you know, was a little too much air in it. Earnhardt, if I got by him, it might have been a little bit better. You know, I used up a lot of rubber there trying to get by him, but he was trying to hold his position too.
Tell you what, the guy doesn't look 54. He just drove 500 laps at the toughest track in the country.
And didn't win.
But a 9th place finish for Harry Gant and a very, very good race. Back with more from Bristol in a moment. Wins the Goodies 500 here at Bristol. Mark Martin finishes in 2nd position. Now, in the closing laps, this is what happened when Mark came upon Mike Wallace.
Now, Rusty had just passed him a lap before that, and Mike sort of took the groove there for a little bit, giving his brother a little bit of a cushion, let him pull away. Mark was only about 3 car lengths behind Rusty when they came up on Mike, and of course he lost a little bit of distance there.
John Kernan is with Mark Martin.
Well, Mark, we just saw the final few laps. Looks like maybe one of the Wallace brothers might have held you up there at the end.
No, not really. Rusty had us beat there. Their pit stops were awesome, and they had a fast race car, and I just couldn't. I didn't have enough time to work him over.
You need to get a brother out here to help you out, maybe, huh?
Well, you know, a lot of the guys, most of the guys who would see the leaders coming with 10 to go would just pull over and stop till they got by. I know just about all of them would do that, especially if they weren't racing for position. But Mike's new at this thing, and he's trying real hard to make it. And when you're under that kind of pressure, sometimes you do things differently than you do when you got some security.
Yeah, a tough racetrack tonight. We go to another tough racetrack next week. A great finish here. The momentum, can you build it into next week?
Well, we sure hope so. We think we ran good enough to be in contention to win this thing, and just one spot off, and just one spot off last week. We love going to Darlington. The Valvoline team had a great run here tonight. I couldn't be happier with it. I would have sure liked to have won. We sure got close there at the end, but you know, it was going to take a miracle to get by Rusty in 1 or 2 laps. So I didn't really catch him till 2 to go. So we'll go to Darlington with some brand new cars, Busch Grand National and Winston Cup, and they really look good, and I'm excited about going.
One last thing, Ernie had the television in his room tonight. Any messages you want to send to him?
Hey, Ernie, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be up there tomorrow and tell you all about that Busch Grand National car you got there. What we need to do to get that thing going.
All right, thank you very much, Mark. Bob?
Thanks. Mark Martin, in his last 3 races, his finishes have been 1st, 2nd, and 2nd. And there are the sentiments of all of us. We'll be right back. Wallace.
Well, Kenny, 13th place, a respectable finish considering everything.
Well, you know, that's not a Robert Yates finish, but, considering the circumstances, we fitted the seat up in a Wednesday, and, you know, we run about 11th all night long, and at the end there I got a little bit tight. But, hey, you know, now I can concentrate on the seat, the steering wheel a little bit more, and things just weren't exactly right. And, you know, I think that we kept Robert second in the car honors points. And, I mean, like I say, we're not content, but we'll go on to Darlington, and I know we're going to be better from here on out.
Hey, but it hasn't been a bad week for this guy. He won last night. He's got one of the best rides in the business for a short while till Ernie Irvan comes back, and he can manage a smile here after 500 laps. Bob?
And we will see him and the other NASCAR Winston Cup competitors when we go to Darlington for the Mountain Dew Southern 500 next Sunday afternoon. We'll be back in a moment. Wins the Goodies 500. Mark Martin finishes in second. Dale Earnhardt third, and fourth and fifth were Darrell Waltrip and Bill Elliott.
Ned, I think Dale Earnhardt's off and running.
Yep, he's in good shape. He got by with this one here tonight.
Yes, sir.
And there you see the completion of the top 10. We run down the rest of the finishers in tonight's race. Kenny Wallace for Ernie Irvan finishes in 13th position.
Jeremy Mayfield, Jeff Bodine, all that problems he had, blew up, finished 23rd.
In fact, all of these cars that we're seeing here now had problems of one sort or another, either wreck or some kind of problems.
We'll see if John Andretti is back with Richard Petty toward the first of the week. We don't know whether he's going to be the driver at the Southern 500 next week or not, but we will let you know when we go there next weekend.
Bob, they're going to get together Monday. They're going to sit down in Richard's office and talk it over and say, okay, we want to continue with you. John, do you want to continue with us, or however it may go?
Another one of those traditional events that we're very, very honored to bring you will be next Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern Time from the famed Darlington Speedway in South Carolina, the Mountain Dew Southern 500. Started in 1950, the 94 edition, next Sunday afternoon, live here on ESPN at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Well, the 70 or so thousand people are still trying to make their way toward the exits after seeing an interesting and exciting evening of racing here at the Bristol High Banks. Rusty Wallace is the winner. And now we look forward to next Sunday. That's always fun, Benny.
I tell you what, I look forward to the Southern 500, and even more so now that I'm not driving, because I'm in an air-conditioned booth, not in a hot race car.
Miller Genuine Draft Crew proud of the performance that they turned in tonight and that their driver turned in tonight. Again, Rusty Wallace wins here at Bristol. For Ned Jarrett, Benny Parsons, John Kernan, and Dr. Jerry Punch, this is Bob Jenkins. We'll see you next weekend.
He climbs out of the...
White flag. And Darrell will have his second win of 1992. Going with his victory at Pocono. It'll be his 12th victory at Bristol International Raceway and his 7th win in the fall race, the night race. White flag is out. He's on his final lap. Less than a half mile to go now. Looks like the crew is celebrating already. They know he's got a one. He could probably coast the rest of the way. Here's Waltrip off of corner number 4, and the checkered flag waves. Darrell Waltrip has won the Bud 500 at Bristol. Jay Gelder, the mechanic of the race, works his magic, takes Darrell to the victory. Second position goes to Dale Earnhardt. Third was Schrader. Fourth, Kyle Petty. And in 5th position was, I believe,
Alan Kowicki.
Was it Kowicki?
Alan Kowicki finished 5th. Bill Elliott was 6th.
So he will definitely add to his points lead over Davey Allison, Gant, and the others. Darrell Waltrip pulls his car to the Union 76 flag. And let's go down to pit road.
Oh, very, very happy crew right here. Jake Elder getting congratulations all around. Well, Jake, not a bad night for you, mechanic of the race. You also win the race, a good running car. It wasn't just fuel mileage tonight that won it for you guys.
That's a good race tonight, and I'm glad to see Darrell win a race like this. The whole crew, too. They done a good job. Everybody done a good job tonight.
You guys apparently found something early on where you can work in that high groove. Was that the game plan going in here, that you figured you'd get up there and run as well as you did?
Well, yeah, we've been working on that all week up here. We can run high or low. It seemed like he could run a little bit better high and a good low.
Well, you see the big smile on Jake Elder. We'll let you go to victory lane now to visit with a very happy Darrell Waltrip.
And it's Suitcase's first win as a crew chief since 1986 and his 53rd as a crew chief in NASCAR Winston Cup competition. Darrell Waltrip wins at Bristol. We'll be right back.
Birthday boy wins.
Well, Sloboda.
There's Leroy.
Yeah.
New Papa brings her home.
You know, was in pretty good position at one time.
Okay.
The fire belt come off, and hey, lucky he got them back on. I couldn't drive it. Harry was laughing. So, you know, the guys did a good job. They worked hard all night and they didn't give up. How about this?
Yep.
Whatever you want.
Okay. Okay.
Yes! Yes! Let's go talk to Jerry. I got him, Doc. Man, I wish you showed some emotion. Daryl, one more time. Give me some.
Darrell Waltrip in victory lane. A reminder that baseball tonight is coming up in just a few minutes. Let's go down now to our Kodak Gold Film Winner's Circle interview, and here's Dr. Punch.
And a tiny trophy it is. Darrell, I wish you would show some emotion. You danced on top of the car. You turned somersaults trying to get in here. Congratulations.
Honey, it's me again in victory lane with the, for the kid, for Sarah, Caitlin, Kearns, Waltrip. One time, drove my heart out, baby doll. Drove my heart out for you.
Now wait,
come closer. For you.
Oh, he's not happy a bit. Oh, spraying a little Gatorade. Let me ask you now. Wait a minute. You had Jessica. You won. Now you had Sarah, Caitlin, Kearns, Waltrip. You won. What does that mean for Stevie at home?
Well, there's more rewards than having kids than I thought there was. No. It just means that I get really pumped up. I feel good, and Stevie's feeling good, and the baby's great. And I just come here with a good attitude, and my team is so great, and they're doing a great job. Praise God for a good night, for a win. Oh, everything I could hope for. What a week. What a year. What a day.
And he certainly is excited, and rightfully so. An excited new father and a winner here at Bristol International Raceway as Darrell Waltrip picks up win number 2 for 1992.
And it was the 83rd win of his career for Darrell Waltrip. It comes under the lights at Bristol. We'll be back in a moment. Well, here are the unofficial results of the NASCAR Bud 500 here at Bristol. And while we look at the unofficial rundown, we'll remind you that baseball tonight is coming up in just a few moments with Tom Mees. He'll have all the details of David Cohn's first day with the Toronto Blue Jays, and of course all the action from the world of baseball tonight. Well, guys, I would have to say that the experiment in concrete racetracks has been a pretty darn good success.
Oh, I think so. I think that we'll hear a lot of favorable comments from the drivers. And, Benny, I don't think Darrell Waltrip looks pretty fresh when he gets out of that race car, so maybe it wasn't as tiring on them as we thought it would be.
No, I really thought it would be tougher than that, because usually Darrell Waltrip, when he's 1 year, he got out sitting on the ground doing the interview. He was jumping around like he was fresh.
Here are the points. Bill Elliott now has a 109-point advantage over Davey Allison, and the top five, Kowicki, by the way, moves back into third. The top five are separated by 342 as we head for the Mountain Dew Southern 500 next Sunday.